Okay. So I will. So welcome to this virtual community meeting to discuss Plan Amendment NPA 2021-0010.01. If you could please let us know who is here in the chat box. If you're with an organization, if you could also include the name of your organization along with your name. We ask that you please mute your microphone if you're joining by phone, and if you could please turn off your video if you're participating online to save bandwidth, and this meeting is being recorded. How to participate today. The speech bubble in the menu bar at the bottom or the top of your screen will open a chat box where you can type type in your questions at any time. Please limit general comments until the end of the Q&A session. After the presentations, please click on the raise hand icon to be called on to speak. So as you know, this property is within the Holly neighborhood planning area. I am Maureen Meredith. I do the plan amendment cases for the city of Austin, and then Jesse and the applicants will introduce themselves as well.
I'll go first. I'm Jesse Gutierrez, a staff with the City of Austin with the Housing and Planning Department.
Thank you. Neville Roan, a co-founder of ARC Capital Partners. We are the applicant and excited to be here to share what we're doing.
Hi, I'm Daniel Klein, also with ARC Capital Partners. I work with Neville. Very excited to be joining this meeting. Thank you for your time.
Good evening, everybody. This is Ferris Clements with Armbrust & Brown. I represent ARC Capital, and we're excited for everybody to be in attendance here tonight.
Okay. So again, my name is Maureen Meredith. I do all the plan amendment cases, and Heather Chafin is the zoning planner, and here is our contact information. If you receive this community meeting notice, it will have my contact information on that as well. So the agenda tonight, we'll go over some general case information, how to participate in the process, why is there a plan amendment application, what is a future land use map. Ferris will do his presentation, and then we'll open the floor for questions and answers. So the property is located at 2317 East 2nd Street. It is 0.21 acres. The case number is NPA 2021-0010.01. The project name is 2400 East Cesar Chavez Parking Expansion. The request is to change the future land use map from single family to mixed use. The associated zoning case number is C14 2021-0121. The request is to change the zoning from SF3 neighborhood plan to community service mixed use neighborhood plan for a parking lot. The property owner applicant is Stephen Nava, and the agent is Ferris Clements with Armbrust & Brown. So guidelines for discussion. Please feel free to type your questions into the chat at any time during this meeting. Please postpone general comments during the Q&A session. After staff and applicant presentations, if you would like to speak, please raise your hand by clicking on the hand symbol on the menu bar. Telephone participants will be able to speak during the Q&A session of the meeting. Attendees will be muted upon arrival and through the staff and applicant presentations. Then staff will open the floor to answer questions in the chat or by attendees raising their hands to speak. Similar questions may be grouped and answered together. Please mute your microphone when you're not speaking, and for the sake of sound quality and clarification for conversation. If you're having connection issues, please turn off your video until called upon to ask a question. So how to participate. If you have questions after this meeting, they will be answered and made available by request within 5 business days on the Speak Up Austin website. That link is also in the notice that you received in the mail. You can email or call the case manager with any questions or comments that you have. Written comments will be added to staff case reports. If you live within 500 feet, you will get a notice in the mail of the date and time of the Planning Commission and City Council hearings. And it will also have instructions on how to participate in the hearings. So why is there a plan amendment application? Neighborhood plans are adopted by City Council as amendments to the Imagine Austin Comprehensive Plan. City Charter requires zoning changes to be consistent with the comprehensive plan. And most neighborhood plan amendments are amendments to the future land use map. Most NPAs also have an associated zoning application. This map shows the areas in blue that have City Council approved neighborhood plans, which the Holly neighborhood planning area is one of them. This is the future land use map for the Holly planning area. The existing land use on the property is single family, which is represented in the yellow color. The proposed zoning is the commercial service mixed use, and that is a request for a change in the future land use map to mixed use, which is the brown color. This chart shows how the zoning districts correlate with the future land use categories. And this map here is just an overall aerial photo of the property. You can see where it's located on the south side of East 2nd Street. This is just a Google screen capture that shows some of the surrounding uses of the property. This is the property itself. Excuse me, 2317 East 2nd Street. Then I just have some general pictures from Google Maps of property to the north. This is East 2nd Street looking to the east. The property to the east, to the west, and a view west on East 2nd Street. This is the property for which the parking expansion is being proposed. That is the parking lot directly to the west. This is a future land use map that shows the property in yellow, which is single family. To the north, that's orange, and that shows multifamily land use. To the south is the brown, and that is the mixed use land use. This is a zoning map that shows the existing zoning on the property is SF3, single family, and to the north, MF5. To the south, commercial service, conditional overlay, mixed use. And to the west, that pink is office, and that is a zoomed in that shows the office zoning. This shows the property in relationship to the Imagine Austin growth concept map and the activity centers and corridors. You can see it's south of the Plaza Saltil Activity Center, and that East 2nd Street is a activity center. I'm sorry, is an activity corridor. So that ends my presentation. I will stop sharing my screen. And then Ferris can pull his up.
Perfect. All right. All right. Thank you all again for joining this call tonight. This is Ferris Clemens again with Armbrust & Brown. Maureen had a good overall depiction of the site. This is located off 2nd Street. As y'all know, the current future land use map is for a single family, and we are proposing to change this to commercial. The purpose behind this is to expand the parking lot we have at our nearby development. We currently have a lack of parking in that for our tenants and all of our tenants' employees and customers, and that's the main driving force behind getting this parking lot expanded by purchasing this property, was to get that expanded, and we're hoping to add an additional 16 to 20 spaces, and there will be a buffer. Our plan is to have a buffer between this and the neighboring house to the east. And again, this is to all benefit Holly Commons. Different tenants include Juniper, Blue Out Brewing, Paz Veterinary, amongst many others. At this point, we would like to open it up to any questions that y'all might have for us. And again, if you can also reach me by email, it's up here. You can, you'll have access to this presentation afterwards, but we'll keep this slide up. So at this point, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to raise a hand and ask.
Before doing that, can I add one more thing, Ferris?
Absolutely.
Great. Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate a couple things that as part of how our values. First is we're a minority-owned firm that's focused on urban mixed-use environments and trying to enhance what's happening on the ground there. And these tenants, they're all local. And our thought here is that if we can do something with this space to allow for better parking, it will take off pressure from the streets as well. So those are the things that went into what we planned here, and it's important for us as being good stewards in the neighborhood as well.
So I see there is a guest. John, would you like to ask any questions? You can unmute if you do. If not, we'll wait around a few minutes to see if anybody else calls in. If not, then we will end the meeting fairly early. So it's 6:18. I'll go ahead and wait until 6:20. And if nobody has any questions by then, we will end the meeting and call it a night. So while we're waiting, I will go ahead and just let people know what the next steps will be. After this meeting, the the inclusive planning staff, we will meet and make a recommendation on the future land use map request. We will pass that recommendation on to the zoning planners. They will meet and they will make a recommendation on the zoning request. We'll then let the applicants know what the staff recommendation is. Then we will start moving forward to Planning Commission, scheduling the cases for Planning Commission and City Council. We don't know those dates yet, but when they are finalized, we will send out a public hearing notice, and it will have instructions on how to participate. It also will have the date and time. Planning Commission hearings are in the evening at 6 p.m. I don't know if it's going to be a dual notice with City Council, but it possibly might be, in which case the one public notice will have the Planning Commission date and the City Council date, but I don't know if it's going to be a dual notice. So that's the next steps. Just to let you know, the Holly Neighborhood Planning Area does not have a planning contact team. So any neighborhood group that wants to send any of their recommendations to be added to the staff case report, you can email that to me, and I would say sooner rather than later, since we don't have the Planning Commission City Council date set just yet. If you're part of a neighborhood organization, you can contact me and we can work toward getting your recommendation. That's all I have. Do you have any parting comments, Ferris or Daniel or Neville?
I do not. If anybody has any questions, this is my email and my phone number, so please feel free to contact me whenever. Happy to discuss the case.
Okay.
Nothing other to say than thank you.
Okay. So I will go ahead and end the meeting. Then I'll stop the recording. And let's see. Stop recording.